what's up? We're back with more Gurren Lagann. This is episode, I didn't even write it down. I think it's episode 10 we're doing today. So the last episode, I remember we were still mourning Kamina's death, and then we got introduced to a new character whose name I believe was Nia. And I, so far, really love her. I think she will be a great addition to this show. I believe, and I didn't actually go back and check this, but I believe that she was just like added to the OP. Like I feel like she wasn't in the OP, and then in the last episode she suddenly was, and I was like, what? Who is that? Who's that character? I've never seen her before. So unless I just didn't remember her from the OP originally, but I think she did just like appear in there. So yeah, anyway, regardless, I like what they did. I like how they chose to introduce the character and when they chose to do it, and what she's going to bring to the show now that Kamina's gone. I'm really excited to see more. So this is episode 10 of Gurren Lagann. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You can go to my Patreon account for the full-length reaction and early access, which means next week's episode is on my Patreon account right now in full-length version. So you can go check that out for, you know, extra content. And you can also go to my One Piece channel called Jent Watches One Piece if you want to watch some more One Piece reactions. But yeah, let's jump into this episode. This is episode 10 of Gurren Lagann. Yeah, they just removed Kamina from the OP completely. It's very interesting.
Impossible.
The girl says she's Princess
That's right,
Nia.
Adine.
Don't be
But ma'am, she looks exactly like the princess.
And she's got a pretty distinctive
You think
look.
so?
Watch what you say. All our transmissions are being recorded.
Man, she needs to practice her makeup, I think. Dine.
Fire! Didn't you listen? The cannons are offline.
Let's get one thing. I'll be back. Got it?
Okay. Well, at least we have time to prepare now.
Man, this is unbelievable. He brought the daughter of the guy we're fighting on board.
This is great. She helped us out.
Should we hold her? I'm gonna put the screws to that little girl and make her spill everything she knows.
Who is this bro? Okay.
I have long since cast that girl out.
I thought,
I don't
yeah,
care what happens
you
to
might have
her.
just abandoned her.
You cast her out? I had no way of knowing that during my confrontation since I was never
exiled
informed of
her.
this.
Knowledge to excuse your failure.
Oh,
No, sorry.
man.
You commit girl who is no longer a princess.
This is...
Oh, the
Look at those
absurdity of it
hands.
Of my life. That said, I would very much like to ask a favor of
Go on, Viral. I will hear you out.
You just hit him.
During your next mission, I
Oh,
ask that you
poor guy.
to accompany you.
Jesus.
I had Timulf in my debt. I will be the one avenging Timulf. No one else.
Damn, he just got beat up by a scorpion tail for nothing.
Yummy.
Everyone's just standing around watching her. I mean, now they're extra suspicious of her.
Just a moment. I'll cut it for you.
Oh, she's so
So
sweet.
anyway,
Would you like some too? Open wide.
He opened his mouth wide.
hey, that's good. What are you doing throwing this girl a nice friendly dinner? You don't have to roll out the red carpet for her. We're here to conduct it. You better talk.
I think she will.
Do, sir. Now then, what's your name?
Just ask her questions in a friendly way. She'll
My
probably
name is
answer.
Keaton.
Keaton, you say? It's a pleasure.
Just because you're sweet and cute and nice and all doesn't mean that you're the enemy. Grab out of.
Beat the crap out of. What does that mean?
Well, when you take your fist and you belt the other guy.
Yoko, step in.
A fist is
Why would you do that to somebody?
because that somebody pissed me off.
What does it mean to be pissed off? Supposed to interrogate. You are, let's see. You're a not pissing off person and you're sweet. Thank you.
Oh,
Now
Simone.
listen up.
Good
Team leader,
entrance.
I got an order for you. I want you to get all the enemy intel you can out of her.
We do need Simone to be
Come
talking
on,
to
just
Nia
do it,
more.
Simone. Man up and fix it. She's a formidable opponent.
She'll be a
You're
good
in for
influence
a
on you,
tough fight.
Simone.
It's hard to imagine that Father would do such things without good reason.
Really?
Yet,
It's the Spiral King who's the bad guy here. Him and his people.
do you hate my father?
Of course I
Kinda.
do.
Yeah.
Simon, tell me, who is this bro person?
Aww.
So, do you think?
See, this is
Simone
good.
will be all right?
He's gonna be able to, like,
Don't you have other things to
you know,
worry about?
it's like therapy for
I'll
him.
finally
He can
get
talk about his
dai-gunzan running
feelings.
again.
Then I suppose it's little wonder that everyone here hates me. I really can't blame them.
Aww.
Don't you worry. I don't think that Bro ever fought out of hatred.
True.
It's hard to explain. I guess, in a way, he was...
A man of unlimited stupidity.
Now Yoko can
I'd
talk
like to
about
hear
it
about him
too.
too, Simone. Please keep going.
Hey, the story is...
Huh?
Never mind.
What?
It was scary.
Okay.
But Bro urged us on, yelling, "Come on! Onwards and upwards,
I
man!"
like the stylized
Laughing
way they're
the whole
drawing him.
time. Or try digging over here. I follow their advice as I dig.
Oh, cool.
I can't do anything.
Look at
That's
those
why
bags
I have to
under
do
his
what I can
eyes.
to become like him.
That's not true. You rescued me from that awful gunman all by yourself, remember?
That wasn't...
I believe you can do fine on
She's
your
so
own.
sweet
Why do
and
you spend
honest.
so much time obsessing over this bro person? I cannot get to know someone who isn't here. But also someone who isn't here.
Very true.
You can't possibly have any idea how Simone is feeling. But if he keeps dwelling on the memory of someone who's gone, then... Don't talk like you're some innocent bystander.
See, this is now
How
Yoko's
perfectly
grief
well
coming
reflected
out.
is that Kamina's dead. Stand there and calmly lecture Simone.
Yeah.
I...
That's the most we've seen from Yoko. Oh my god.
We can't forget about him like he was nothing.
That's not what Nia was saying, but understandable reaction from Yoko. Yoko grieves, I think, by having no control of her
Tears in
emotions.
eyes. I want so very much to learn about your people.
While... Oh, that's cute. While Simone grieves by, like, going into depression, so having, like, no emotions. Like, complete absence, emptiness. Except the occasional rage.
What in the hell is that?
Holy shit!
Things after being cooped up.
No, bitch is coming. What's her name? Adine? Yep.
I've returned just as I promised I would, stinking humans.
She's got nerve coming here alone like that. I'm gonna deck her.
Don't forget, Guren still isn't ready yet.
Good point. Okay, let's hand over the girl. No. A problem with the decisions made by your mighty leader, huh? Do ya?
No,
I'm
she's...
not sure why, but something tells me that'd be risky.
Don't give me that half.
She's a good therapist for this crew. We need her.
Miss Yoko, thank you for allowing me to do this.
Don't get the wrong
She's still
idea.
mad at
This
you.
doesn't mean that I trust you.
Yeah.
Trained on your back the entire time. If I see any funny business, I won't hesitate.
Right.
Nia's showing more expression in this episode.
Nia.
Tell me, Adine.
She doesn't just
Are you
have the
and
blank
others
look the
fighting
whole
the
time.
humans on the surface and trying to make Adine the Elegant in the name of the Spiral King? I order you to take me to him.
You
I
really
don't think
pissed
she's
me
gonna
off.
do that.
If you take your own sorry ass.
Did you say he abandoned me? Kill me?
Aw.
He said you should kill me?
Oh, Nia. Oh,
Come on.
his spirit's coming now, surely.
Right.
I was told to kill you, so that's precisely what I'm going to do.
Oh my god.
Well, of course I am. What of it?
If my father ordered you to take your own life, would you do that too?
If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you do that? Objection!
They did?
That should be reason enough to end their lives.
This loss has left them sorely wounded.
Yeah. I like that she's trying to listen to both sides. I love this character.
Don't you think there might be something wrong with that?
No, I don't, because there isn't.
He's doing it without the mech.
I know how Spiral King was so eager to get rid of you.
Now I see. You are a pissing off person.
That's my life.
You are a pissing off person.
Simon!
That's one thing I won't stand for. We won't stand for it.
Yeah, everyone rallying behind Nia. Hell yeah, Yoko saving her. I love this. Aww.
So that I can tear each one of you apart.
Come on. Isn't this thing working yet?
I'm trying.
Oh my god. a lot of crazy bullshit going on right now. Oh! Just kick her.
Impossible! It broke my spine!
Jeez.
Yeah, got her!
Look out up ahead!
Oh, what is that?
What was that? What's
Oh, is it?
Vero, is that you?
It
I hope you'll
is.
forgive me for disobeying orders.
I was about to say, is that Sam Riegel?
I have my own honor I must uphold.
That's kind of nice that he came. Despite being beaten by a scorpion tail.
Go!
We're retreating for now. But when next we
Damn,
meet,
this is gonna be
settle matters once and for all.
a second retreat. Aww. I mean, everyone wanted to like her from the start because she's so sweet. So, just that little bit of inspiration.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yoko's still probably a little sore.
You scum! Trash!
I think she knows it's not Nia's
What's the
fault,
big
but
idea
is
leaving
still probably a
without a
little pissed at
victory?
her.
Well met, my good pig mole.
That's so cute.
Simon inside? I know that you were the first one to run to my rescue, Simon. It was very brave and kind. And so, I thank you.
She's so amazing.
I'll never be able to be like you, bro.
Oh, man. Nia has quickly become the best character in this show. Like, I've enjoyed, I think, these past 2 episodes. I think I've enjoyed them more than I've enjoyed any other episodes of Gurren Lagann. Because, and like, I feel like there hasn't been, like, the crazy things that Gurren Lagann, like, I associate with it, in these past 2 episodes. So I imagine when we get later in the show and we've got that crazy shit going on as well as Nia being in the show, it's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be really good. Because yeah, it's like, what I like about Nia is she's such a nice change of pace from what the show has been so far. She's got this incredible, beautiful optimism that I often really like in characters. And, like, I think a lot of my quote-unquote issues with Kamina back when he was a part of the show, like my, the things I didn't like about his way of inspiring people, are done away with, and now, like, we're seeing a completely different style of inspiring people in Nia. Like, it's almost like, here's my thought on the difference between them. And I'm not saying that Kamina's way of inspiring people was wrong in any way. Like, he clearly inspired them very heavily. But I think that this episode, to me, is also showing a little bit of the flaws of the way that Kamina did things as well. Because, like, Kamina expected the world from people. And himself. Like, he expected the world from everyone. And so it's like, he had these high ideals. These, like, unrealistic expectations. I mean, you know, we're gonna pierce the heavens. We're gonna, you know, like, you need to be, a man always does this and never does this. He lives in absolutes. That's his entire way of doing things. And so he pushes people further and further, telling them, like, you're not there yet. You need to do this and this and this and this and this, and then you're going to be the perfect person. And so he's basically, like, pushing people constantly, and he's not a hypocrite. He's also doing that. He's also pushing himself. So it's not like he's being unreasonable. He's just has the same high expectations for everyone. And the problem with that, in my opinion, from what we're seeing, is that, like, people almost feel an inferiority because they don't reach those heights. Now, Kamina's plan overall would have been to continue to foster that, continue to push them until they get to that point, and then Kamina can take a step back and go, like, I've done everything I need to do, you are now the way you need to be. But he died prematurely before he could finish his teaching style properly. And because of that, these people now are broken. Like, they are, like, they're struggling because I think there's a vacuum where Kamina was, and like Simone's just looking at it and going like, he wanted me to do this and do this and do this and do this, and I can't. I just can't do that. So I'm useless. I'm worthless. And he loses all of his sense of worth because Kamina like tied the idea of your self-worth also to the idea of being a man, essentially. So this is what I like, and these are all my interpretations of the character. But I think what I love about Nia, other than the fact that she's just a cute female character, which that gives her like so many more points just on like just from the top, that makes me love the character. But I also like the way that she does things, because what she does is approach it more in a, she looks at who you are, not who you could be. She looks at who you are and fosters that and helps you to appreciate that. And so I really like that. Like she's not looking at, you know, who Kamina was. She's not looking at who Simone should be. She's sitting down and went, but what you are is you're the person who saved me back there. You're the person who got me out of that situation. And all of you are in a sad situation. You're all grieving. That's who you are. Like, that's the reality of the situation in front of you. And so, like, I'm going to appreciate that part of you. I'm not appreciating your potential. I'm appreciating who you are right now. Now, it's less aspirational. Maybe their improvement would be slower. This is what I genuinely think. I think if you go by Nia's way of inspiring people, their improvement will be slower, and they will not reach their goals as quickly and with that strength. But I do think their improvement will be healthier. I think they will be able to progress in a stronger fashion and have a more sturdy foundation the entire time. To me, it's the equivalent of if you are to, you know, build a building, right, with like one block building blocks, and you build it and then you build it and build it and build it. You can build 100 blocks up really quickly. Like, you can just keep putting them under yourself, building the tower higher and higher, and you're gonna reach your goal so much faster. But if at any point there's any bit of wind, anyone knocks any of the blocks very slightly, the whole thing's fucking tumbling. That's the way that Kamina likes to do things, I feel like. While Nia, I think she builds the building blocks 5 across. Do all 5 of them, and then move up and do 5 across again, and then move up and do 5 across again. And then, if one of the blocks gets tapped or if the wind blows, it's fine. There's so much structural integrity here, but it's gonna take 5 times as long to get up there. But, you know, if anything happens, you've got so much security. And you're gonna start to see when the tower's collapsing anyway, you know? Like, you start to see the cracks in things before they end up affecting you. So I do think that I prefer Nia's way of doing things, even though these characters, I don't think they're supposed to, like, I don't think Nia is supposed to be a replacement for Kamina necessarily, but I do think it's interesting to compare them because we have the vacuum of one character that's left behind, and the way that that's being filled in with this other character is really, really interesting, and has made me way more engaged in this show than I ever was, because I really like her. And I think, and I mean, in the OP, they literally replace Kamina with her. So it's like the show creators are doing this very on purpose. They are taking Kamina out of the show and putting her in, and we're seeing how the show can progresses from there. So I think that is really well done. I love her character work. I think she's also just cute and funny. The jokes that they're making with her are great. The bit where it's like, you are a pissing off person, like that. That's fucking great. I love stuff like that. That's a great joke. But I think it's also, like, she's very needed on the ship just because she's an outside source that people can talk to, and she, like, asks them questions about themselves to get them to speak up more. Which is all the things that a therapist does. That's what, like, therapy is so important, and this is a world without therapy. But now Nia is being their therapist because she's genuinely curious about people, and she doesn't judge them. She listens to them. she also listens to the other side. You know, she listens to both sides and tries to convince people. But I love that she like listens to Simone and lets him vent a little bit about who Kamina was, and then Yoko has to vent a little bit because Yoko, I think, is struggling. I mean, she's struggling with the fact that she's grieving. I don't know how much she knows that she's grieving. Like, I'm sure she knows she is, but I don't know how. Like, I feel like she's in a place where she knows that Simone is grieving the most, or like he's grieving outwardly the heaviest. You know what I mean? The visually, everyone can tell he's grieving. Whereas Yoko contains it a little bit more within herself, and she's trying to push forward in her own way, but she is still grieving. And like she, I think, is at a place where possibly she thinks she's mostly healed, but hasn't, you know? And I think that's also a big part of when you're grieving something, is sometimes, you know, the initial stage is like, well, clearly I'm grieving here. Clearly this sucks. I'm crying, or I'm depressed, or I'm angry, or whatever, right? And you have that stage. But then there's a bit where you're starting to heal from it. And I think there's a little moment, generally, in my experience, and everyone's experience with grief is different, where you have a moment where you're like, this here is like, I still feel a sort of numbness / pain / frustration, and whenever I think about it, there's a like twinge of pain I can feel in my chest and stuff, but I think I'm healed. So I think there's a time where you think that you're completely healed up and it hurts still, therefore it's always gonna be like this. This is who I am now. I am now a broken person. I'm now hurt. I now have these emotions. And the truth is, you're just not healed yet, but you just feel like you should be and that you are. I think that's where Yoko is. I think she is acting like she's healed, trying to talk with some positivity and stuff, but then there are still things that reopen her wounds, like saying that Simone needs to move on from Kamina. In a way, I feel like she might be looking at Simone and seeing the way he's grieving, and there's some sort of like it doesn't look like she's tried super hard to get Simone out of that grief, right? I think in a way, his grief is I'm trying to think of the word. It's not invigorating. It's like a liberating, I guess. It's sort of liberating for her to see him grieving this hard, because I feel like she thinks at least someone's grieving for him, you know? Like that it's earned grief. And so seeing Simone grieve, at least it's like someone's still remembering him, and that's helping her push on in a way. And so when Nia comes in and is like, you need to start, you know, moving forward from this and understanding like that dwelling on it isn't going to continue to help you, then I think Yoko's getting angry because it's like, no, he's the only one who's acting appropriately to this situation. Like, he's doing what I wish I could be doing, which is sitting there on the deck crying all day. So he should stay like that, because that's the way you should be reacting to it. I think that's why her reaction to it is so extreme, is because she's so frustrated that someone's trying to, you know, like brush off who Kamina was as a person, which is not what Nia is trying to do. Nia is saying, I don't know how Kamina was as a person. I'm looking at you right now, and you are spiraling. Like, and the daughter of the Spiral King will know when someone's spiraling. But you are spiraling further and further down, and what's about to happen isn't going to be healthy if you continue down this path. But obviously, all Yoko hears is you need to forget about Kamina, which she doesn't want to happen because she doesn't want to forget about Kamina either. So yeah, anyway, there's a lot of like genuinely interesting takes on these characters and on grief happening here, and I really liked it. So that was Gurren Lagann episode 10. Thank you for watching. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel. You can get early access. Next week's episode is on my Patreon account right now in full-length version. And you can go to my Jent Watches One Piece channel if you like One Piece. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.